Before I talk about the scientific journeys of Sir Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein, let me share something personal. For most of my life, my favorite subject was biology. Why? Because it was easy, I understood it pretty easily, and I just scratched my head about it. I never really thought about physics. In fact, I used to think that physics was complicating, confusing, and a pretty dry topic. But everything changed the most unexpected way. One day, when I was randomly scrolling through YouTube, a video popped up titled Cats Are Liquid and Not Solid. The video was actually super serious, a full blown argument with scientific explanations. It claimed that cats can fit into any shaped container or boxes, which made it even more hilarious to me. I clicked on it just for fun, expecting a joke. But instead, I found myself genuinely interested. Since I also loved badminton, F1 racing, cars, and jets, I realized all of it depended on one thing, and that fascinated me deeply. Aerodynamics, the science of how objects move through air, how a shuttle flies, how an F1 car sticks to the track, and how a jet cuts through the wind. And then, around that time, I watched the movie Oppenheimer, and that movie completely blew me off guard. The power, the danger, the responsibility, and the intelligence. The idea that physics could change the entire world within seconds, for better or for worse, was fascinating to me. That was the moment I realized how powerful and misunderstood physics truly is. And then, suddenly, physics didn't feel boring anymore. It was something formidable and electrifying. Soon enough, my entire YouTube homepage was filled with physics videos, from black holes, the universe, atomic bombs, time dilations, and most of them were from Neil deGrasse Tyson, an astrophysicist who became one of my greatest inspirations. Once in one of his interviews, he spoke very high about Newton, calling him the greatest scientific mind in history. And that surprised me because, like many people, I always assumed Einstein was the obvious number one. So that made me wonder, why wasn't Einstein mentioned there? What makes Newton so special? And is it even possible to compare who truly is greater? These questions sparked the idea for this talk. And that is why today I chose to talk about Sir Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein. Not to place one above another, not to argue who's better, but to understand what made both of them extraordinary and why we still compare them even after hundreds of years. Sometimes the best way to understand science is to ask questions, questions that guide us, challenge us, and open our minds. So let's begin with a question we've all wondered at some point. What kind of world did Sir Isaac Newton live in? Sir Isaac Newton lived during the Dark Age, both scientifically and socially. The bubonic plague, widely known as Black Death, would spread around England, and people still believed in magic, curses, spells, you name it. While everyone panicked, Newton isolated himself at home. So, working alone, he discovers the laws of motion, the laws of gravity, universal law of gravitation, the laws of optics, deducing that white light is composed of colors. If you take all these colors, recombine them, you get white light back, which freaked out artists of the day. And just to prove that planets orbit in ellipses rather than full circles, he invented integral and differential calculus. He does all of this and then turns 26, most of it just in the span of 18 months, which is crazy genius if you ask me. Later on, he published one of his books, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, which is widely considered as one of the greatest single-written scientific works ever. Einstein, on the other hand, discovered the idea that light is made up of tiny packets of energy called photons, the special theory of relativity. E is equal to mc squared, one of history's greatest equations ever. And he explained the photoelectric effect, the general theory of relativity, which changed the way we understand gravity. His ideas opened doors to modern cosmology, quantum physics, and contributed a whole lot of theoretical physics. Einstein had also faced huge struggles, poor grades as a child, problems in his marriage and family life, difficulty finding a job, and fleeing Nazi Germany as a Jew scientist with a bounty for his head. Yet he was a strong Zionist and kept speaking for human rights and justice. One of my favorite stories about Einstein is his so-called greatest blunder. Once, his early equation suggested that the universe should be either expanding or collapsing. Emphasis on how smart that is. No one at that time would think that the universe, which is everything, would be doing anything. Since no one would believe that the universe was changing, Einstein had put in this term. Later on, when Hubble discovered that the universe was indeed expanding, he didn't need the term. So Einstein called it his greatest blunder. But guess what? In the 1996, scientists discovered something called the dark energy, a force that is pushing the universe outward. The exact same thing Einstein had put in years back. So as Neil deGrasse Tyson says, his greatest blunder was thinking that he ever made one. I want to share a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson, an astrophysicist scientist I admire greatly, because much of what I have learned about this topic comes from him. Great scientists are not marked by the answers they give, but the greatness of the questions they ask. In arts, we depend on creativity, and creativity, it's personal, a unique expression of a unique individual. If Van Gogh never painted the Starry Nights, no one else in history would have ever come with the exact same masterpiece. If Beethoven had never composed his Ninth Symphony, no one else would ever come up with the exact same music. Art exists because of the artist, but science works differently. In science, nature is the ultimate judge. If Newton had not come up with a question that answered in gravity, someone else eventually would have. Maybe 10 years later, maybe 50 years later, maybe hundreds of years later. Because nature's truths are not invented. They are waiting to be discovered. So that brings us to the important question, who is greater? My favorite teacher once told me, you can never compare two great scientific minds. And that scientific minds. I'll be honest. I wanted to choose a side and I wanted a clear answer. So I didn't fully agree. But this was the same teacher who never pushed us to memorize formulas or compete for marks. She encouraged us to ask why things happen, even if the answers were confusing, and always left us on a cliffhanger. She made physics feel less like a subject and more like a way of thinking. And thanks to her, I slowly started getting into physics. So the more I thought about what she said, the more it made sense. Both Einstein and Newton had changed the world. Both had reshaped how we understand reality. And both had opened doors that future generations continue to walk through. Maybe real greatness in science is not about being better than someone else. It is about asking the right questions at the right time and having the courage to search for answers. But personally, I'm inclined towards Newton. I believe he was one step ahead. He created the foundation which eventually great scientists, including Einstein, once stood on. Einstein had once said, if I had seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. And Newton, he was one of those giants. So this is a personal opinion, not the universal truth. I believe Newton is the greatest scientific mind in history. But our real lesson here is not about deciding if Einstein wins or Newton wins. It is not about deciding who is better. Who is better? Both change the way in their own both change the world in their own way. And honestly, our goal in life is not to become the next Newton or the next Einstein. If we spend our lives trying to be someone else, we lose who we are meant to be. Our real life and goal is to become the first, best versions of ourselves. It is to ask brave questions. It's to keep learning from forward and keep learning from failure and moving forward. It is to ask questions, and it is to create something meaningful, even if it changes the world for one person. Maybe someone here will discover something amazing. Maybe someone here will ignite the youth. Maybe someone here will inspire others through teaching, arts, or innovation. Greatness is not only about fame, it is about impact. Both Newton and Einstein had asked, what more can we understand? So today, let's ask ourselves, what more can we become? Let's stop trying to fit in and start working to stand out. Let's not wait for the world to change. Let's go change it.